The saying that has dominated the lacrosse landscape over the last 30 years has been grow the game. Now, as someone who has created hundreds of educational videos that are free to watch on YouTube, thousands of educational and entertainment TikToks and Instagrams, wrote a book for players and parents to get into lacrosse, created a digital training platform in your pocket. Like, I feel like I'm one of the people who shared the game in the right ways. And when someone else does it, and when I find a new idea about how we can share the game, I want to share it with as many people as possible. Now, the biggest roadblock that I think we have in growing the game is making lacrosse a possibility for as many kids as possible. And in this video, I'm going to share with you one of the ways that I've been sharing the game with others recently, and why it matters, how it kind of came about in me, as well as a new opportunity that you could use if you are the right type of person, if it fits for you, where we can share the game much faster and in a better way than ever before. And so this all starts when I grew up. My brothers found lacrosse in high school. They were much older than me. And so growing up, I always had a stick in my house. And that's the key. There was always a stick in my house. It was always a possibility. I remember it would sit behind our front door because we had a brick wall on our front door, and my brothers would play wall ball. And so growing up, I would go by every now and then and I'd pick up the stick and I'd try to play, and I would try and do something. And then sometimes my brother would see me and he'd try and teach me something, or we'd go outside and we'd pass. And I feel like so many kids would love to try the sport and would be more interested in the sport if they just had a stick. And so I hit this problem all the time. I get kids who are coming to my intro to lacrosse clinics. They bring a Target stick that isn't even a real lacrosse stick. And it's like, yeah, you got to invest in this, and you got to go, you got to go buy a new stick. These are the sticks that you should buy, yada, yada. Now, I figured out a way to make that happen way faster. And in order to kind of tell it, I got to tell a couple stories. But so when my son gets dropped off from the bus, he's got a couple friends that he likes to go play on the playground with. And as myself and the other dad are kind of watching the kids play, sometimes we'll start talking about what we do. I mentioned lacrosse, and I'll ask, like, hey, have you ever thought about your kids trying lacrosse? And it occurred to me that as someone who has collected sticks forever, I've got like 60 of them, and they're just sitting in a rack. And so on this specific day, I was like, yeah, I'll just bring you a couple sticks. I'll bring you a couple sticks in my book, and, then your kids can just have sticks in the house so that they can see them like I did. And so crazily, on this specific day, my youngest daughter wanted to go on a one-wheel ride, and so I took her on the one-wheel ride to give their family the sticks. Now, in lacrosse, for me, things have seemingly always happened for a reason. And as I went back and went home, my other daughter wanted a one-wheel ride, so I took her. Then I came back, and then my son wanted one, and so I took him. And as we were rounding a corner in our neighborhood, we saw a dad and two boys on their driveway throwing around with some sticks. Now, as we got closer, I realized that they were crappy fake Target sticks, and I immediately was like, hey, we got to get you guys some good sticks. And as I said that, the kid on the driveway yells my son's name. My son hops off the one wheel and he runs up, gives the kid a hug. They start playing. And so me and the dad start talking, and I'm like, I'm going to bring y'all 3 sticks. So I get on the one wheel, head up, bring them 3 sticks, and then a little 3x goal, because they were shooting on a chair in their basement as they were playing. And, just having a real goal is a lot more fun. But so as someone who has a bunch of sticks, it makes way more sense for the sticks to be used than it does for them to be sitting in the rack in my office. Now, you may be saying to yourself, at the beginning of this video, you talked about how maybe you could do it too. And, you might not be the person who has a bunch of extra sticks laying around, but there's also this new opportunity where I think you might be able to. And so if you are a trainer, if you run a club, I got a new way of sharing it, and it all depends on one thing, and it's what's behind me. It's the sticks behind me. So the sticks behind me are called the RC1 lacrosse stick. Now, I got to tell you a bit of background on the company that makes them and the founder in order for you to kind of get the real gist of what this stick means. I think it might really help us grow the game much, much faster. So, Relax Collections either began, or the guy who runs it now started when he was 14 years old. He was asked to go share the game in Jamaica. He got a bag full of gear. He brought it to Jamaica. He gave it away, and he saw the kind of the transformational impact of lacrosse in the Jamaican community. Now, as he had done that, a little bit later, he was asked, what would you do if you had $1 million? And he's like, well, I would do this. I would share it. And then he realized that the biggest barrier was the stick. And so he started reaching out to all of these companies. Like, if I had $1 million, maybe I could, fund for this, and I could help with having donations from the big lacrosse companies. Now, for those companies, they've got their cheaper sticks. They're pretty set in stone with how they make them. And the good lower level sticks still aren't that cheap. And so he realized that he had to make a head, and that it had to be a good head. Like, he's working with a nonprofit. They're all volunteers. And he realized that he could actually probably have one designed through another guy. If you've ever heard of POWLAX, they made the head with the nubs where you didn't have to string it. You could just put the mesh on it. It's a pretty cool idea. But he had him design him this head. Now, when he first designed it, wasn't perfect. Had a couple weak spots. They sent a bunch of them out, got a bunch of feedback, fixed it. Sent a bunch of them out, got a bunch of feedback, fixed it. And they landed on this. I'm playing with this one for like 3 months. But the big important key was that it had to be a head that you would buy for $100. And now it is. And now it's being used in colleges. And the stringing on it is all custom strung. It's a good pocket. It's something consistent that the players can use. And it's on, basic aluminum shaft. It feels like a old C405, Kryptolite shaft. It's got a good, cool, designed butt on it. And it's just another company that, shares the game in the right ways, whether it's shipping gear off or it's the creation of this head and this stick. And the key to this stick is that there's no marketing budget. They're all volunteers. There's no profit motive. And it's an amazing stick, especially for beginners. And so Will, the guy who runs it, has done incredible work. I think they make $10 that goes right into the nonprofit. And right now, what's really cool is that they're actually designing a women's head that is going to be kind of the same, right? $50. Ready for anybody to just get it. Now, $50 has kind of a caveat, because when you buy it online, they got to ship it to you. It's actually about $67. When I ordered my single, that was what it cost. But I'm not ordering one at a time anymore. And the reason is because this allows me to either give them away or to have a good stick for the kids who come to my trainings with a really terrible stick. I'm always hunting for them, right? We get a bunch of new kids in, they all have these sticks, and you see them throw it hard and it just hooks, or they, try to do this and that and it's just inconsistent. You see the kid get frustrated, and I've heard hundreds of stories about kids who, if they just had a decent stick, probably would have enjoyed the sport more. And as someone who has, lacrosse has given me more than, I'm extremely grateful for everything lacrosse has given me, everything it's taught me. It taught me how to work hard. It taught me how to really find my own gifts. And so the ability to share that with as many people with the right type of tool is amazing. And if anyone ever tells you, it's not the wand, it's the wizard, just remember what happened in Ollivander's wand room when Harry didn't have his wand, or what happened when Ron's wand broke, right? Everything went crazy. In lacrosse, the wand is important. It is a thing that actually matters. But so we're getting to the part where I'm going to tell you about how I'm now using this. So I bought 10 of these, and I bought another 10 after that, actually. But The way that I'm using them is I'm now bringing a bunch of these to the practices with new players. So I am getting rid of the friction between the parent buying them and the, having to go out and actually go do something else. So if the kid has a terrible stick, I'm like, look, here, take this stick, use it for the day. And hopefully, if the parent's watching, they'll see how much easier it is to use, but now the parent doesn't have to go anywhere to buy it, right? So I'm like, hey, this is what they need. It's right here. It's in your hands. It's $60. Why is it 60? Because they're shipping. I'm saving you $7. I'm getting more money to go buy more sticks so I can share it with more people. And it just completes that closed loop. So if you're someone who has the ability to spend an extra $500, $250 on a few sticks, because you're going to see people who need these sticks, it gives you a really easy way to just like kind of recycle that fund and give people the experience they need with the right stick. And so that's just kind of how I am beginning to share the game. Now, sometimes for me, I'm just going to give them away. A lot of parents, when I say I'm going to give you a stick, they're like, well, when we buy one, we'll give it back. And like, cool, sure. But if not, at least the stick is in the house. And in 8 months, when the kid walks by it for the 30th time, he goes, hey, I wonder what that's like. And then picks it up and plays with it. And that's the key. It becomes a possibility like playing the other sports because it's actually there. There's no cost to entry. Now, for me, I might be a little different. I might be able to give them the stick and not really care that now my stick is somewhere else. Whereas some other people might buy a few of them and then sell them as they come close to those people. But either way, this stick gives you that opportunity at a price that's affordable and is something that can actually help a lot of people. But so that's just me sharing how I'm going to use the RC1 complete stick to help share the game in my community. If it's something that you want to do it. If not, cool. Just look up RC1 lacrosse head on Google or go to, I think it's relaxcollections.com and check it out. I think you'll be blown away by the head and the stringing and the complete stick. All the reviews online, all the Facebook posts that have it in it are like, I didn't know it would be this good because of the price, but there's a reason for the price. And it's because Will, the founder, is a volunteer. He's a dentist. He loves what he does, and he does this for the right reasons. But so check it out. Hope this helps. Continue to grow the game. If you're ready to make lacrosse as simple as possible, whether you're a player, coach, or parent, head to POWLAX.com where we make lacrosse as simple as possible. We have assessments for coaches, players, parents, which will kind of outline your situation and tell you what you can do to improve. We've got hundreds of free videos on YouTube, a book called The Player and Parent's Guide to Lacrosse, and click that follow button, and we'll see you in the next video.